That lighting's okay. Oh well. Hello, I'm doing painting today. Time to get fun. Let's see. Probably want to go. Definitely going for green. Got you guys. Not right now. Definitely going for you. Do I need this today? Meh, maybe not. And is this my sparkle? Yeah, first pearl sparkle. Win for all. Okay. Do I want to go right for black? Hey guys, how's it going? I'm trying to decide if I want to... Oh, hey, So I have this great little 3D model of a T-Rex. It's a little 3D print. And I've been painting it, and I'm trying to decide what fun color I'm going to go for next. I love the superhero blue. Inspired by the cassowary. So I'm either going to go green or black for my next bit. And then, oh, this is great. Check this out. This is the mounting board it's going to go on. Boop. So eventually this will go on my wall. I'm super pumped. But I gotta finish painting it first. I might go green first. Last week, I started on the bottom of his chin and I did this light blue wash, and I don't like it. Yeah, right. I love it. Look at this. It's such a good model. This is a fabulous little 3D print. But I gotta clean this up. I tried to do a light wash. It so didn't work with this bronzy sparkle background. So I can either redo this whole thing in black, which is sort of where I'm leaning, or green. I was going to start using greens and reds, like really strong greens and reds as highlights. Hey, Shard Mom. I might just start with black, because I really think I know what I want to do on that chin. I think I just want to make this whole area black, and that'll make it look more mask-like too, which is kind of fun. And on cassowaries, they do have a lot of black around their face. I'm not going exactly like a real cassowary, because this is a completely different theropod, but having some fun on that. So yeah, I was sad last week because I didn't have any black. My black had dried out. But now, for $5 at an actual art store, I have black paint. So, boop. You guys can't quite see my palette this time. Let's move this down a little smidgy, because it's fun to see that. Yeah, so the black paint, I ended up going to an actual art store and buying brand new black paint and brand new white paint. As much as my Pearl Sparkle did what I needed it to do and saved my butt last week, when I realized that both of those paints were dead, I decided I shelled out for the nice stuff. I think it was worth it. And the art store owner was very nice. I found a cute little independent art store. They were super sweet. Because I'll give my money to Blick Arts. They're fine, but like if I can support a little guy, I'd rather do it. Let's see. This is a good brush. So nice basic square tip brush. Get started. Okay. The fun thing about the way I've been painting this model is I have been mixing colors. Obviously that bronze is not something you're going to generally find in a tube. But now I'm going to just be putting on like gabam, fresh out of the tube color. Which I'm pretty excited about. So sometimes you just need bold. I'll be doing washes and, shading and whatever probably here and there, but meh. Because again, when you're painting a dinosaur, you can do whatever you want. We have some indications of dinosaur colors based on skin fossilized skin where you can actually see the microscopic orientation of melanin. But that's kind of the exception, so I can fake it. So, like, there, I'm committed. Bam, it's gonna be black now. Because trying to do this overlay of the blue last week, I had good feelings about it, but after sitting and looking at it, I was like, that's actually not what I wanted. Which is fine. I can just paint over it. Everybody wins. This T-Rex wins, I win, y'all win. It's just winning. I like keeping his bronzy gums. Square brushes are really good for doing that line work, so you can see how it's got a bit of a goatee going on. Because my other thought for this area was green. I guess I could go back and do it if I really decide I hate this, but I don't think so. Oh, and then for anybody who was watching last week, and there was the science discussion of how are cassowaries blue. So for anybody who wasn't part of this discussion, here's your weird science fact. Blue as an actual pigment hardly exists in the natural world. It's a very rare pigment. So like if you see a blue butterfly or a blue bird, it's a structural adaptation of their feathers or scales. They are, if you put a blue butterfly in a blender, you will get gray powder. If you put an orange butterfly in a blender, you will get orange powder. And so, how are cassowaries blue? And I couldn't find an actual answer to cassowaries per se, but what I was able to discover is baboons. So here's your weird science. I'm going to extrapolate that this might be how cassowaries do it, but full disclosure, I could not find anything on cassowaries being blue. But baboons famously have not baboons, mandrills. Mandrills have like the two blue fleshy sections on their face and blue butts and blue testicles. And turns out that the collagen in their skin is ordered in such a way to produce the blue light shift when light strikes it. So that's the same way that butterflies and birds work. But it's actually the collagen in their skin refracting the light just so that gets that effect, which is bonkers. I had never heard of such a thing. So, yeah, mandrills, actually wicked cool. And vicious and scary, but also wicked cool. And apparently there's just a lot of species of monkeys with bright blue testicles. That shiny, iridescent, gorgeous blue testicles done with this exact same method of collagen alignment. So, yeah. Not... Oh, nuts. Well, okay. We're gonna work... my finger slipped. So, I don't know if you can see. I had a perfect little point going in the center. Now there's this other point here. So, just have to play with that. Which probably means I'll just put a second point on the other side and move on with my day. I was thinking about collagen. Weren't we all? Because I love when you find like convergent evolution, because obviously mandrills and cassowaries and butterflies and many bluebirds aren't particularly closely related, but those completely different species display convergent evolution by independently evolving how to make blue visible. That's weird. My favorite convergent evolution is flight. I mean, that one's just messed up. But, hey, Sudanine. But, like, the way a dragonfly flies and the way a bird flies and the way a bat flies are 100% different. So... Yeah, Passiflora, I have to imagine given your name that you're into blue. And natural blues are cool, and just, you know, there's all the jokes about, like, roses are red and violets are violet, and definitely not blue, and things like that. But blue exists, it's just usually, like, mineral color. Yeah, what I haven't actually found is, if there is any example of organic blue. I don't know. I have not found that. So cassowaries, mandrills, you know, passerines, butterflies, all of those are structural blue. I wonder if anybody actually has pigment blue. The answer could be no. Wouldn't that be interesting? Because blueberries are purple. You know? Like things, yeah, I just there's a lot of colors weird. It makes me extra glad that I ended up having the sparkle in this blue on here, because then that's more evocative of the that structural shimmer blue, which I really like. So I accidentally did a science? No. I think that's pushing that a little far. A little too judicious. That's okay. Okay, so I've got that blue I didn't like covered up now. And so I'm digging the black so far. It still looks superhero-y. Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, the butterfly pea flower tea is now the new jam. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so now we have to look up what color is that, because I know with the butterfly pea, with certain chemicals or in certain situations it trends to a more pinky purple. I don't know if that's just underripe or if it's when it introduced to acid or what. But yeah, I just experienced that stuff last week for the first time. Apparently the actual, like, if you just make butterfly pea tea, it's awful, but it's a really sweet additive. It makes things gorgeously blue. Okay, yeah, no, more research is necessary. If anybody happens to discover that and wants to post it here, I am definitely curious. Oh yeah, no, I love that. Now my brain's all on fire about that stuff. But yeah, Pseudonine, you're right. I had that weird butterfly pea flower tea or gin that a friend of mine had. Need to make this corner nicer. Okay, so that implies... So if you have a jasmine tea that turns pink when you add lemon, that implies that the pink color is an acid reaction. So the base color might actually be a blue pigment that just is unstable in the presence of acid, which is fair. Like, fine, whatever. Lots of things change in the presence of acid. That's cool. Is the tea delicious? Actually, no, I like that side. This side needs help. Because I care about tea. I like delicious tea. That's good enough. Okay. Oh man, now that I have black, I can get weird. I love having this part be dark. That really works. I'm gonna leave most of the nose bronze because I love it. I think that just turned out to be a really great color. Yeah, good jasmine tea is delightful. I really like teas, things from that specific tea bush. Man, I'm blanking on the scientific name. But anyway, actual tea. And jasmine is basically just actual tea with frickin' jasmine in it. Like, what a good idea. What else do I want to do? Okay. Things I know I want to do with this guy. I will use my currently clean palette brush to point. These, like, this fleshy cheek, I guess, broadly speaking, is what we can call this. I want to make this its own color. maybe like black but mixed with a little bit of red, so it has that like meaty, flexy texture to it. So this is probably going to continue the black but with a red undertone. Up here by the eyes, I gotta play with these ridges. I've been given a beautiful gift of these cool eyebrow ridges. So I'm thinking greens. I'm thinking some sort of like really pizzazzy coverage up here. I'm probably not going to do anything in front of the eye, since on like cassowaries and other things, that's often left plainer, which I like that. Although I might put like an eye ring. So I can see putting a little black here to highlight and bring the eye out. And then to, again, homage to the cassowary, I've got these big neck muscles, I guess. And cassowaries have red, or some subspecies of cassowaries have red wattles, so I'm thinking I'll put a top layer of red on these to really make these highlight out. The question is, what do I want to work on first? Hey, let's just, since I've got the black out, let's play with the eyes. Let's make the eyes stand out and see if I actually like that. So, trying to make it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing without my hand getting in the way, but I think my hand's going to be in the way a lot. So, sorry, I'll keep trying to show it off. A little black. Around the eye. Because you want the eyes to stand out. Again, the joys of, you know, painting a dinosaur model versus maybe a real animal, because depending on the real animal, they might not want their eyes to actually stand out. They could be doing something else entirely with, you know, what they want their markings to convey, but I want the eyes to stand. I have a friend who's going to be probably starting miniature painting this weekend, and I'm excited to see his stream. So, oh, that looks pretty good on the camera too, actually. Yay! Okay, my angle's not the worst. Woo! That kind of looks like Space Ghost. Which again, I find myself just really okay with. Or that thing they did with like 90s Batman where you could see the eyeshadow really, really prominently through their mask. Oh, hey, channel points. Yeah. Alright. I just hit affiliate and I'm still trying to figure out how it all works. So if anybody figures out how to use channel points or things like that while you're here, let me know. Also, you can subscribe now, which is pretty fun. So, okay, so we got one eye. Let's do the other one. Make it stand out. Make it bold and beautiful. Maybe he was printed with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. So anybody who is new to this particular project, this little model was originally printed at the Museum of Science and Industry at Chicago. They had a exhibit on makers and things like that. So there was a 3D printer and fun stuff like that that people could play with. And people would initiate printing stuff, but then wander off because it actually takes a minute and not necessarily come back and reclaim their models. And so that's where this guy came from, is he was in the unloved bin. Like, I love you, little dinosaur. You're a cool extinct theropod. Let's hang. It was really fun when I found that little trophy mount at just like a Michael's craft store. I was like, that's exactly the right size for my T-Rex. Holy crumbs. So it was all meant to be. Cosmos came together so I can get this sweet little T-Rex model. Alright, so... Sorry I wasn't talking as much there. This part is pretty delicate. I say as I go back and touch it up a little bit. Hold on. Alright. Yeah, okay, but yeah, I don't... that's the thing. Crafting like this and doing these really delicate things takes a lot of patience and practice. True. But also if you're just good at something, like I can't do hair, which is really funny because my hair goes down past my waist. So I envy your skill. Alright. Boom. Alright, so I'm actually, again, feeling pretty good where that guy's going. So let's walk away from black for a little bit. Yeah, because like at some point I'm going to want to darken those nostrils and things like that, but I don't need to start with that. Let's get some green. I've been itching to do green. Let's just jump on that green. Ooh, let me wash that guy up. So I actually haven't cracked this one open yet, so... Oh good, it's nice. That's a good grass green. That's a good color. Okay, and to follow up on what we learned last week, which is that Pearl Sparkle is the most amazing substance in the world, we're going to definitely be adding this to the green, because I want that superhero shimmer. That is some fun paint. I'm strongly pro fun. Okay, and then which brush? Do I want a different brush? Yeah, I really like this one I was using. Let me just clean this up. I have a much larger water glass, or, you know, paint cup than I had last week. So that should cover actually being able to wash my brushes the entire time. And at the bottom of my paint stuff, I found my old paint rag, so now I won't be going through paper towels as much, which I'm very happy about. It is so much fun to go through, you know, old boxes like, oh, I definitely know what's in there. That's where I put my whatever. And then you open it up and the thing you expected is in there, along with like 4 things you didn't know. And you're like, oh, I suddenly have a distinct need for 6 of those objects. And one of those was an old paint rag. Man, so when I set this brush down at one point, it rolled into the black paint, so I managed to get black paint up on its side in places that it would never do me any good, even if I was painting black. Is that actually clean? Maybe I do want a different brush. Black is a kind of unforgiving color. Alright, I'm going to move out to a little pointy brush. See how this goes. My assumption is well. So before I start playing with the brushes, though, I'll put you in the water too. Boop. I have to actually mix these colors. So let's take most of the green. Oh, that isn't already a very nice color. So it's going to get lightened up from the pearl, but that's okay. I already love it. Wow. Man, Pearl Sparkle. Man. What a serendipitous thing to find in the used paint bin. Oh, this color is majestic and flawless in all ways. Goodness me. Okay. Do I want to lighten this up, or do I just want to roll? Alright, so that's already... Where's my focus point? Kind of there-ish. That's a good color. That's a nice, bright, like, superhero color. And, you know, tropical bird and all those other things. Yeah, let's add just a little bit more white. Pump that up just a smidgy. I don't think I'm going to put any other colors in it. I don't really think I need to add blue or yellow, and I don't want to muddy it, so I don't want to specifically add browns or reds. So I think that's kind of going the direction I wanted already. Shoot, yeah, let's put this on the dude. Okay. So the green, I'm thinking, is going to be this, it's over here, this eye point. You know, the up on the eye ridge, and then down through here, really bring that out. And then I might do something along the side of the rostrum here, but I want to see what the first color looks like before I mess with that at all. Sparkle. The pearl sparkle seems like one of those things that I'll never fricking find again, but right now it's a magical gift and I accept. So... Let me move that out of my foreground a little bit so you guys can definitely see where I'm going here. Yeah, I think I know where I'm going. Well, right off the bat, that is a very bright green, which I think is going to be working in my favor here. I can really see the bronze underneath it, which I'm not in love with, but it just means I might have to add 2 layers. So doable. And, you know, I'm basing this roughly off of cassowaries. They don't tend to have green, but, Pseudony, did you change something? Oh, okay, sorry, I missed that earlier. No, I don't need it on followers only right at the moment. If things get busy, maybe for the taxidermy stream. Sorry, I totally missed that. How rude of me to not pay attention to my moderator. That was very rude, everybody. My moderator is great. Wow, and bad timing stuff. I have a muscle just decided to spasm in my leg. Anywho. This is not in my hand. Alright, so I think I want this green. There's kind of a... The eyebrow ridge goes pretty far forward. I think I actually might follow it with the green pretty far up the rostrum. So let's see what that looks like. I'm in a bit of a sad spot where any of this bronze I paint over, I'm going to have a hard time replacing. Because, of course, it's all dried out and gone from last week. I really like that bronze, but, you know, the whole point was to add more colors, so I'm not super concerned. I can play with it and try to color match it. that's going in an interesting direction. Yeah, this color is pretty thin. I'm going to have to definitely add another layer. It's doable. I like having a fairly loaded brush when I'm painting stuff like this. A lot of other people like having just the barest amount of pigment on their brushes, which I can see the value there, but I don't know, I like having it be kind of a giant paintball that I move around, which occasionally gets me into trouble. It's harder to do like light line work with that, but meh. Okay, so I think that's as far forward as I want to go. So there's just like a bit of a green line. I'm glad you like the green too. I'm feeling this green. So the question for me now is, do I fill in this whole area here kind of from the tip of the blue up, or do like a curve? You know, like, where's my pencil? Boop. Man, I went and put my pencil away. Who does that? And that one's not sharp. Alright. Mechanical pencil will do me. Because I can do, like, if I start from this point, I could do a curve. You know, and that highlights the kind of roundness of the nose, which is pretty cool. I could do just a straight point, which I'm not leaning towards, but that would work okay. Or I could do a really hard point, so, like, maybe leave more of this bronze. But I'm thinking just a lot of green. I've painted this all the way to that side. No, let's do like a majestic curve. Majestic. Majestic is what we're going for here. When I think of T-Rex, I think of majestic. Okay. So I've got a light pencil line to kind of cut me off. And that's actually going to be evocative of having a beak, which I kind of like, you know, make the dinosaur bird connection all the better. We're all theropods here. So let's just fill this in. Yeah, this is a nice sharp green. I don't have many, like, pre-mixed color tubes. Oh man, can you guys hear Pseudonym grinding coffee? Wonder how much that's being picked up by my mic. But this particular green ended up being very serendipitous. There's still a little texturing on this guy. I sanded this whole thing. So there's like sand marks that are still showing through. So this is never going to look like perfectly smooth. I could have tried to add like a protective layer, and it's okay if it looks like a plastic toy. I noticed some of the original texturing from the print in like the places that were harder to sand, which is pretty funny and pretty obvious. So that's all right. Well, Chardon Mom, since you are a subscriber, somehow I think you deserve a cup of coffee. It's pretty good coffee too. One of those, you know, weird things that we've figured out is now that we're making coffee at home a whole lot more than we were pre-2020. Caribou coffee, pretty great actually. So, new favorites. All right, that's cool, guys. I love this color. Like, The muffin's a little harder, but I'll see what I can do. A trophy of a villain head. Keep on their wall. Yeah, so Deadpool, if Deadpool had a trophy wall, he would have a T-Rex like this mounted on his wall. Chris, I 100% can just picture that. Like, things mounted with tentacles, and probably some of them badly, so they're fall aparty. That's really funny. Trying to get this edge a little sharper, but yeah, no, that green, we're doing that again. That's 100% a win. And it totally, now I mean, it was already going for like T-Rex superhero look, but now it's all the better. All of this is good. All of this is going right. This is a beautiful critter. So, blarp. Need a little more water, looks like. I didn't put the paint retardant in here, and maybe I should have, but I keep holding off on it. I don't know, because I want the paint to dry, but... Oh, so Chardon Mom, going back to your comment about muffins, I made a variation of British mince pies yesterday. Or 2 days ago. And so mincemeat, British mincemeat, no longer contains meat. It used to contain lard and things like that, but I had this cooked fruit that I wanted to use up, and it already kind of reminded me of the flavor of mince, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's roll with this. I'll do a, October, or rather a early fall mince pie instead of a Christmas mince pie. And they're good. Something that the BBC recipe that I found recommended is you make them little. So you actually use a muffin tin and you put the little pie crusts in the muffin tin. So they're real cute. So there's these little individual pies. They're really, really adorable. But the recipe that I found for how to make your own mincemeat had like, call it 3.5 cups of fruit, roughly. All the different fruits combined, maybe 4 cups of fruit plus nuts, and then an entire cup of brandy that's not cooked. You just mix brandy into it, and I'm like, all right, let's rock and roll. And oh my goodness, I was originally making these pies to have like for breakfast, and they're a little zingy. These are not adorable little pies that mess around. So while that might be a recipe that I still go to for like actual Christmas, they're more of a recreational pie than a feed your meat bag pie. So I've had weird experiments with cooking. They taste okay. The recipe's really interesting because it doesn't call for the mincemeat itself. It doesn't call for any sugar, because it assumes that all of the dried fruits that you're using are probably heavily sugared. And so it's sweet, but it's not sweet. It's, I think me and how I usually cook baked goods, I might actually add sugar to it next time. But it kind of also worked, being a little more focused on the flavor of alcohol, let's be real, but then the more natural sweetness of the fruit. They're good little pies, and they're cute. So, any pie that you can hold in your hand is a good pie. Most pie is considered recreational pie, but I make a lot of pie that is like breakfast, But eating for just the joy of eating gets you a recreational pie. There's a fantastic cartoon show on Netflix right now called Kippo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. And it's post-apocalyptic and fun and has very good music. So there, if you're looking for a cartoon show, it's good. but there was an episode where they stop at a place that serves brunch. And so this is after the apocalypse. People are scrounging for sustenance. And they find a brunch place, and one of the characters explains what brunch is to another one and said, yeah, these people are here to eat for fun. And I'm like, there it is. That is the most succinct description of brunch I think I've ever heard. Because you don't really need the event of brunch usually. But if you want to eat for fun... There was a diner that I used to go to a lot that was a working stiffs diner. So people would go there and you sit at the bar or whatever, the counter, and you order $3 worth of breakfast kind of thing. Eat your breakfast and leave, and you're in and out of there in like 15 minutes. And so a lot of people would go and, get breakfast on their way to work, because it just didn't take any time. You could just go, feed your meat bag, move on with your day. And so you'd get there like on a Friday morning or a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, and you have people who are there just to get their breakfast on their way to work, starting at like 6 in the morning. And then it transforms to people who are there to recreationally eat, who are not sitting up at the counter, they're sitting in booths, and they're ordering things with like Benedict in the name and what have you, and it's just a completely different vibe from the ones who are there to like ingest early morning calories so they can go to their job. It's kind of a cool vibe. Yeah, that's so good. Everything about this is good. I knew I wanted to go green, and I'm really just loving this green. My next pie I'm going to be making is going to be apple pie. Like, 'tis the season. It's time. Happy October, have an apple pie. Sunanine, I'm good for now, but I will probably want some at some point, so don't finish the coffee, pretty please. Alright, this is good. There's a little asymmetry on there, and again, I don't mind. This is supposed to be... You are a full service mod, thank you. But yeah, real animals aren't 100% bilaterally symmetrical, so I don't mind if it's a little off. I'm going to leave that. Okay, I'm going to go and do a second layer on the other side, but this is good. Now the question is, do I want to put this fabulous green anywhere else? Like, I'm kind of leaning towards yeah, just for an excuse to use it. But I gotta think about how I want to actually apply that. Oh, that color. Man. I'm giving most of the credit to the Pearl Sparkle for just making everything a better paint. So for anybody who didn't catch the stream last week, the Pearl Sparkle came from a fantastic little store in Chicago called the Waste Shed, where people can donate, partially used art supplies. So if you had a pack of paints and used up 3 of them, but you're not going to do a lot of paint, they'll just, buy the partials from you. And I went there and picked up most of the acrylics I was going to use for this project. And I accidentally bought the Pearl Sparkle. I had meant to buy white paint because it looked like white paint, but it turned out to be white paint with sparkles in it. And I quickly went from, aw, bummer, to this is the coolest thing in the world, and I'm so happy. Because I didn't know how much I needed Pearl Sparkle in my life. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys can see, but adding the second layer definitely was necessary. I can see just a little bit of the bronze undertone peeking through. So, tighten that up over here. Oh, these colors. Okay. I managed to put the green on a lot thicker on this side. I think it was starting to dry out, so it, it was naturally thicker. So, not as obvious. Okay. Yeah, so that's looking real good. That's a cool critter. I was originally thinking I might put a touch of black on that eyebrow ridge. I'm not sure now. Maybe? And actually, I might put white under the eye to make it really stand out, because a lot of birds especially have like a white undertone. Some sort of eye ring that really makes them stand out, so that might be kind of cool. And of course, I don't actually know what color I want to make the eyes. Bird eye color can go all over the place. There's a lot of birds that just have like red or amber. There's ones that have bright yellow, which might be kind of cool here. I'll play with that. What else can be green? So I could fill this area in with green. So do like a, starting from here kind of, and go up along the lip a little bit. That might be kind of cool. Because it's actually working for me okay to have that blank. Oh, blank. But the base color. But rar. And I don't think I want to put the green on any of the blue areas. I want to reserve that for red. I'm going to have the red sit there. The other thing, of course, would be to have the green come over under the eye, so I could actually swoop down there a little bit and have it come under the eyelid. But I really like the hard line that the ridge gives me. Basically, I'm just looking for an excuse to use more of my really sweet green. I do want to put it. I want to put some here. That's what I want. I do what I want. It's alright. So, in that case, do I just follow this, or do I create my own shape? Because I could do... No, I'm not going to go way up here. I think I might just, from the bottom of the eye, do like a bubble. Like a nice rounded pouch look. Yeah, why not? Let's do that on both sides. What's the worst that can happen? Let's try this. So I got a lot of this green. I want to use this green. I love this green. So, blap, commit. There, it's going to be green. Ah, so much green. A little water. My ultra saturated brush. And again, I'm not going into that, like, inner cheek area thing. That's going to be a different color. For sure. Now this really is reminding me more of a parrot. Like, doing this has moved it slightly away from superhero into parrot. Which, I mean, that's a fine line anyway. Or more or less. Can I stay in camera a little bit more? I keep looking down. Sorry, guys. It's not about my face. It's about T-Rex face. Delightful. Greens are another thing that in animals tend to be a structural color. Kind of like blue tends to be a structural color. Obviously in plants, no. But you'll see bird feathers, insect colors. A lot of times when you see those greens, it's those crazy iridescent greens, and that's the giveaway that it's a structural color. The paper I found about baboon skin being blue really described the collagen as almost like nanotubes. Like, where they were just, the protein fibers were all oriented correctly so that you could see the light react in a certain way. That's just crazy. You give something a few billion years of evolutionary time, and you get collagen behaving like nanotubes to make things blue and green. It's a good thing time is big. Okay. Yes. Yes to this blob. Yeah, absolutely 100% yes to that blob. I'm feeling that. I'm going to do it again. Because that makes it look less like a mask. I like the superhero face, but I like the parrot face more. Blap. I drew my line a little farther forward on this side. Yep, definitely getting a little dry here. That's okay. This is probably going to be the last area I can think of having green. But it's been a fun trip and I'm happy for it. Almost there. Those are pretty even. Yeah, so I've got my pencil line on this side. I'm going to have to try to lift out, but that's okay. I drew it on pretty lightly. It should work out. Or if I do any black highlights, then I don't have to worry about that. Alright, so the top of his head. Is there any area I need to darken? Yeah. A few up here. So this is the time to get my final layers on here. Okay, and then one more layer on these cheeks. Oh, this color is great. Man. Like, I was already feeling good about today when I painted that chin black, but this just keeps getting better. This is a great little model. Because my other 3D models I have right now are of alligator skulls, but unfortunately they're already printed with glow-in-the-dark paint, and like you really can't mess with perfection. Like don't paint over the glow-in-the-dark paint. That's crazy paint. So I don't think I'll be painting those. I guess I could sand them actually. I could still try to smooth them out, but yeah. Yeah, I guess there's a thing. I could, for the glow-in-the-dark plastic, I could actually still sand it and even add like a polish layer so it's, you know, like a clear coat. But I don't know. I don't think I should screw with them. They're pretty cute. Alright. Green is on. Really feeling good about that green. Ooh. And I don't think I want to add green to anything else. I thought about adding some like farther up the nose. I don't think it needs it. I don't think that would really help. I don't think I want to put any under the eye ridge. I like where that's going already. And I am not seeing really any spot back here that I'd want to add green specifically. I mean, I guess I could just add, like, something along here. No, I really want that for the red. Oh, beautiful green sparkle. I think we're done with you. Well, you're a fantastic color, and I'm glad I got to play with you. I had to smooth out a paint line. You could really see my brush strokes. Which, you know, sometimes it's kind of cool to see your brush strokes, but on a model like this, it's not really the thing I'm going for. And it's an excuse to layer more paint on this and make it look fabulous. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to call that good. Okay, so here's the other thing I was considering too, is I know I want to do red, and I'm kind of holding off on doing red until I'm ready to do more of the inside of the mouth and things like that. But do I want yellows? Because I'm already doing some pretty cool stuff up here, and so I could see having like a yellow-orange color be under, you know, little bits. I don't want to overuse that, but some along there, maybe some along some of the edges. I could do some kind of cool stuff with that. I should just do the red. I've been talking about the red forever. I can go back and do weird highlights with yellow. I should just do the red. So I'm going to wipe off some of my beautiful green sparkle just so I have a little bit more palette available. Blah. Got it right on my finger because I'm smooth. I'm not going to totally get rid of my green. You know, I might get to a point where I realize I do actually want a little of it, but I can have it take up a little less real estate on my board. So, okay. And apparently I'm going to get it just like all over my fingers, but that's what painting is for, is making a huge mess of yourself. Let's see. So I got my Napthol red. I don't think I need anything else right off the bat. I'm just getting green all over myself. The mess is getting bigger. I'm making it worse. Okay. We'll endeavor to not touch my face. Because that's always what you do once you make a big mess, is inevitably touch your face. So the red I want to do a whole bunch of things with. I want to do those wattles, and then the inside of the mouth. And red, I think I want it to look meatish in all things. Like if anybody's ever seen the wattles on a cassowary, or like a chicken or a turkey, they're very vibrantly red, but it does angle a little less away from it's not into the orangey red. It's but it does push a little closer to the brown red, I guess. I feel. So let's see what tone this actual red is. Yeah, so this is a good shade of red, but it is a little orangish. So I might just try to draw that down with black, like, right away. Let's take... It's a nice shade of red, but it's not 100% what I want. So black, you never need a ton. Like, I'm putting in that much black, because it usually is really overpowering. Yeah, man. I gotta get that mixed in. I'm already vaguely regretsy. It's really orange. Where's my weird sampler pack? So the sample ones I opened last time were yellow and blue. Where did I put that down? Oh, there it is. Do I have a red in here? Okay, this one's more of a crimson. Because I don't love this red. Most of the colors I've loved, I do not love this red. This is way more on the orangey, spectrum-y side, and I do not love it. So... yeah, whereas, like, I got these 25-cent sampler swatches, which of course are going to have no shelf life, but that's okay. It's for using. Oh, wow. Okay, this is more in line with what I was expecting, almost to the point of being, like, hot pink. I'm so excited. There we go. Let me... yeah. So, that guy is definitely a little more on team red, which is what I need. Alright. Problem with these packs is they kind of squirt, so okay, there's just a ton of it now. Just very carefully set that off to the side and hope for the best. Okay. Man, yeah, that's already a good color. I'm gonna try way off on the side here. I'm gonna darken this just the smidgiest smidge. And cat hair. interesting color. Wow. Okay, let me... so you guys can see as I'm smooshing. This is already a little more of the color I was going for. Where's my... I have a little burnt sienna. I need a ton of that. Oh nuts, I got green on it. Whatever. I've got green all over my hands at this point. I'm just covered in paint. We're just gonna roll. It's fine. Let me boop. Add a little brown to this. Because that red last week really worked for like the inside of the mouth, and I was pretty happy with that. But I do want this one to be a different feel. How interesting. None of these are quite the scarlet I was really, really going for. But that's okay. I just go for something else. Let me try one more thing. So I'm going to put this guy over here. And let's add a little bit of green. Muck that up a little bit. See if that darkens in a way that I like. It's not bad. How does that look? I like it better than the tube, for sure. Sorry, Red Naphthol. You're a great color. And then, of course, I could add my favorite sparkle to this, which would then pull it even more away from, like, the colors of the mouth, which is good, you know. I mean, why not? When in doubt, sparkle. My God. What hesitation. Flap. There's a little green in there, and that's okay. Alright, sparkle. Let's put just a ton of you over here. It's a little chunky. It's gotten a little dry. You know, actually lightening it up with the sparkle, not only because it's adding sparkle, but also just lightening it is already moving this more in a direction I want. It has, you know, like, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I find the color of, like, birds' wattles and things like that almost an uncomfortable color. Potentially the word is gross, I don't know. But this is moving in a absolutely reasonable direction. Let's make more of this. Let's just put like all of you over here. And how much sparkle is left in this? Man, my sparkle pile has dried out. That's okay. I have more in the tube. I need more sparkle. No, this is... we're getting it. We're getting the sparkle. Bring the sparkle. Nah, more. 'Cause I don't want it to be like pink, but brighten that up a little bit. I'm just using all of this. Let's get weird. I'm going to add just a hint more green. Give it that more organic-y color. More green. Okay. This is funny because it's totally not the color I was originally kind of seeking. I ended up in a different place. This place is good. And I can work with this. It's an interesting color. I mean, this is more or less how I got the bronze color that I absolutely fell in love with, so not mad. Okay, let us play with this. So, this is going to be the color down here on the blue. And that, actually having it be more of a almost a pastel, is going to make it really stand out from the blue. Hopefully in a way that is good. I mean, that was not, I could check. Maybe I'll hate it. I have no idea. Go back to this guy. No, no more delicate stuff. I swear, I just want a different paintbrush for every color, which is just a bad idea. That's not a way to roll. But so one of the innumerable good things about the sparkle paint is it makes my water sparkly. So I have pearlescent paint water, which is just a delight. Okay. I'm going to use a pretty fine brush for this because I'm more or less just covering these edges. Trying to make sure my hands actually dry before I touch you. Okay. Ooh, it looks super pink against the blue. Huh. Contrasty. Gonna have to have a lot of layers because this blue is so dark. Oh, that's interesting. That's okay. That's weird. That's interesting. Let's widen this out. Well, at first blush, I don't know if I love it, but I gotta take time to let it convince me. Having the blue so strongly show through is distracting. It's going to take a couple of layers to really get this lighter tone to overtake the blue, which is not surprising at all, but 'tis a process. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Well, I'm going to do it on the other side. Let's just, well, you know, I think I'm going to add some of the red that I didn't initially love, because this needs, now that I'm looking at it, it needs an oranger tone. So this other red can come play. Let's see if we can bump this up. Yeah, that's instantly orangier, but I think orangier... Originally I was thinking getting away from orange was better, but I've changed my tone here. Yeah, no, that's weird. I'm doing that again. Let's do more of this. Let's see. There's a ridge kind of there, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I'll just start with like one on either side of the neck and kind of sit with it, but what a weird color. I made a weird color. If anybody wants to clip that. That's like half my channel. I did a weird thing. I gotta get on this inside. I'm liking this more. This is working. It's definitely not what I pictured. I don't seem to have a good shade of red for kind of where my mind was, but I'm growing here. I'm moving in this direction as I see it. Adding the little bit of orange back was the right thing to do. I'm really happy with that. That's going well. I gotta change this. Oh, how weird. Now it looks like a tracksuit. Okay. Okay, actually, here's an important context. Hands are reasonably dry. So I have my base that I'm going to put it on. I'll hold it up here. And so that that red, when you see it coming out of the neutral tone base, is actually pretty good. I think I'm going to do that again. I'm going to add a couple more stripes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, now I'm on team this color. However we want to describe this color. I've decided that we are friends. So I'm going to do this higher line. Because since I'm not painting a full figure animal, it's just the head, I have to think about how it interacts effectively with the wall. Because it's going to be up against that base and on the wall. And having these lines appear is actually pretty cool. Because again, if you're looking at like the mounted thing from the side, you're really going to see those and appreciate them, which is pretty cool. And if you're looking at it from the front, you'll never see them. You don't have to worry about it. So like, meh. What is the point of view of your audience? And the audience here is probably mostly me. I don't know. I might give someone this as a present. I haven't really decided on its fate. I think I have to see what it looks like to see if I would feel good giving it to someone else. Here, take my weird trash. It's not trash, it's beautiful. I'm going to be doing that with my taxidermy too, I'm not just going to keep it all, but I wouldn't want to give it to somebody if it was bad. So, you know. I'm doing a second coat on the first wattle on this side since it's starting to be dry enough I can do that. And as soon as you get that blue to really recede, it looks good. Thank you, Sheridan Mom. Yeah, I'm really digging this color now. This turned out to be pretty cool. And it's interesting that there's lumpy bumpies and the lines aren't as sharp along here from, I think, both just the texture of the paint that came before, you know, the dried on stuff, and then having, because this is now the third and fourth layers of paint on here. And I love that, because again, like cassowary necks or turkeys or whatever are bumpy. Their skin is hangy, bumpy, grody, you know, saggy skin. So having it have not crisp lines is pretty cool. at the museum across from my taxidermy desk was a big vitrine display with a taxidermied sandhill crane. And sandhill cranes have a featherless head that with bright red skin, and the preparator who did that particular specimen painted the head really bright red and then didn't really shade the edges, and it basically, I had so many kids who were like, why is that bird's head bloody? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not mad at you for asking, because it looked like fake blood. Like, they just blapped a ton of fake blood on this poor taxidermy bird's head. And I was like, let's look at pictures together of living ones to give you context. And that, you know, people were fine with that, but the paint job is just bad. Painting skin is just hard. Like, you know, I'm not throwing too much shade on that artist, but that's looking cool. That's coming along nicely. Uh-oh. Happy day. Alright. So let's do that second line over here. And then I can darken this color. Oh, hey, Ninochris, thanks for the shout out on Twitter. I really appreciate it. It's a very chill day. Painting models is so chill. Got that Thursday vibe. So I've been, you know, bumping around Twitch looking at other people's stuff to get ideas for my own feed and just see how everybody else uses it. And there are a number of fish tanks. You can just have a stream of someone else's fish tank so you don't have to feed them or clean them. And I'm like, ooh, you people, you're so smart. There's also a bunch of chicken cams, which is delightful. So if you want to listen to chicken noises and watch chickens run around living their little lives. For anybody who's never been around live chickens, they really do have a lovely, pleasant noise. Yeah, no, Nitocris, like Thursdays, you gotta get through the week somehow. And let's just hang. Let's hang and paint pretty things. Or weird things. Whatever they be. Do I want to widen that out? Yeah, a little bit. I do. Man, my phone keeps buzzing. I'm not even... Eh. It's a lot of stuff going on. The world is a busy place. Existence, man. It's a lot going on. Yeah, no, I'm solidly now in love with this color. And this ended up being a great plan. I'm glad to be part of it. I think it's going to look really good. It just needs to be thick. So at the at both art supply stores, there's always the section of oil paints. And I love oil paints. They just feel nice to work with. They're really great. And they're also just a humongous pain in the butt. You know, like, cleaning them is hard and smells bad. They take forever to dry, which is one of the reasons they're so great. And they're just a weird base. So I really like them, but I don't necessarily think I'm going to crack that can of worms back open again anytime soon. And I had a brief era where I was getting into watercolor. Like, if you want to talk about patience, my god, anybody who's good at watercolor is kind of an amazing beast. It does a cool thing. Has a neat effect, and ugh. Although my favorite use, or artistic practice with watercolor, is the U.S. Department of Agriculture has commissioned over the decades watercolor paintings of every economic plant used by the United States. They're so pretty. So it's just like an orange. You know, here's the whole orange, here's the orange cut in half, here's the flower, and there are references done as watercolors, because if you're doing a watercolor, you can, like, normalize it. This is the orange, or whatever. And so the artists have a certain amount of artistic license to make the most quintessential of that orange, or what have you, and they're just satisfying. So if anybody ever wants to look those up, they're just lovely pictures of fruit. Okay, so I really am digging these lines, you know, so as the T-Rex head is mounted on the wall, those are going to be visible. I could hypothetically put some down here by its, like, trachea, but I'm not sure. I mean, 3s are really satisfying, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. Okay, so now the question is, do I want to do highlight red anywhere else? Because I could put red around the eyes. That could be kind of cool. Like, I've got this saggy baggy under eye area. That might be kind of cool for this red. And a lot of birds, again, have, like, the whatever their wattle is will come up around their face. And so that's kind of cool. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm doing it. I got a ton of this paint. I'm going to use it. Let's make it weird. Painting the eye bags red. Ugh, I might need a finer brush, though. I've painted myself into a corner. If I flatten my brush a little bit, I can make it into the edge I need. Yeah, fun tip, you can actually deform the tips of your brushes in the moment to do different things that maybe that brush wouldn't originally have done. But, you know, it's not necessarily as good as if it was that shape of brush. But, yeah, going in the right direction here. Okay, I love that. That is 100%, 150% exactly what I wanted. Oh my gosh, I love that eye. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that again. Painting the eye bags red. Eye bags, man. I might play with above that, but right now I'm gonna stick with what wins, and that is what wins. Oh, I love this. Ooh, yay. Yay. Okay, yep, doing that again. I swear, doing just these big fields of color is just fun. You know, it's just all big blobs. I'm no shading, no anything weird right now. It's like, forget it. So I'm gonna paint an eye bag red. So I did that a little bit forward of the eye. Now I have Disney's Alice in Wonderland painting the roses red in my head. And potentially so do you now. Except it's painting the eye bags red. Wow, okay, mental tangents in 6 different directions. Last night my significant other and I were having a discussion about math, as you do, and we're getting progressively sleepier, it's late, it's time to go to bed, and literally more or less wrapped up with the joke, why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. And that was pretty much the mic drop, and then the conversation was over. I know, relationship goals, right? Okay. Eye bag. Those are great. Those are great. That's a good looking critter. Okay. Do I want anything else red? Because the inside of the mouth colors and like pure tissue colors, I don't want this cool sparkle color. I want those to be a more matte look. I don't think I'm doing any color on the tip of the nose. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, so I'm going to just go through and do another layer of this delightful color on everything, and then I think that's all it needs. This has been good. This is a good one. This little, like, piece of dried there. I had a weird hook of dried paint on the end of my brush, which, while funny, is less useful. I definitely want the paint down here to be kind of bumpy and textured and thick and obviously sitting on top of the blue. You know, because it's representing a structure that would be, you know, sitting on top of the other skin and lumpy and weird. So I'm actually going to add in some kind of pointless extra paint here to give it texture. And actually, if I just, yeah, if I blap at this, ooh. Okay, I don't know how much you guys, yeah, you can see it a little bit. I'm trying to just lift it up. Like I'm basically stamping on big, heavy brush loads of paint. I don't know if anybody's ever done sponging, so like if you're redoing your bathroom and you want to have a neat effect, you can paint it and then sponge on another color. A mistake there. Now there's just an extra lump. It's okay. Because I don't want, like, pointy peaks of paint, but the weird ridges and lumps and thick areas. Pretty cool here, actually. Oh, yeah, that is cool. Alright, so yeah, you guys can see from the shine, but ooh, claw marks of the enemy. I appreciate the idea of this guy having a epic backstory. I mean, I haven't even tried to name it. What do you name a T-Rex? It's already called Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, way to set the bar really high. Tyrant Lizard King. Ah, okay, fine. Hard to outdo that. Oh yeah, this is cool. The texturing's cool. So that's now the second type of texture I've added to this, because the sparkles already gave it a different kind of look. All right, yeah. And actually going along with the idea of those being claw marks, big scars, you know, big bumpy textured scars on the otherwise smooth skin is pretty rad, actually. Wow, yeah, what a difference. So looking at that texturing versus just smooth, like, yeah, meh. I'd like to think you guys all that had that exact same emotion looking at that. There's a new emoji I have to get for my channel now that I can make my own emojis. This is some sort of rawr yay emoji. DL, good to see you. Welcome back. We're doing weird stuff with waddles. Or battle scars, or whatever these sections of the neck are. Alright, racing stripes, whatever that is, yeah. So I wanted to give it like the cassowary waddles, and so I'm adding these colors, but what we found is, check out that texturing. That makes it cool, so I'm going back and now adding texturing to the racing stripes. Either way, I love it. And there's green now. It's coming along. And I need water because this is drying out. And the cat hair in here. Yeah, I mean, obviously racing stripes are for racers, and so I think it really depends. Depending on what paleontologist or what era of paleontology you look at, T-Rex was super slow or super fast. So clearly a T-Rex with racing stripes is, from the scientific point of view, of them being fast predators, not slow scavengers. Obs. Alright, so I've kind of lifted up this line pretty well. Yeah, I love the texture versus not. Yeah, so George Romero, T-Rex versus I don't know who actually directed the World War Z with like the super fast zombies, because there's like slow zombies, fast zombies, and super fast zombies. And ghouls, which are different. My paint's drying out so that I'm starting to get sharp peaks, which is definitely not what I want. I gotta finish this up. I finish up this red. Maybe take a second and really clean off my palette, and then I might go to the deep reds before because I thought about doing like highlights of yellow, but I think that's like a last maneuver. Okay. So I made a little mistake, and so now this wattle has an extra protuberance, and I ain't mad. I'm just gonna roll with that. It's a little warty on this side, which honestly, again, things that have wattles, having them be lumpy or warty actually kind of works. Okay. I think I'm done with texturing. Those look good. I'm not going to do any more on that, on the neck. I think that's fine. And then I don't think I'm going to add the texturing. Whew, I gotta get this low enough. Bloop. There by the eye. Although, well, let's try it. Let's see what that looks like. Let me just bloop a little bit on. Blooping being a technical term. No, actually, I love that. I'm doing that. You can see from the shine a little bit. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's... I touched my paint a little bit, but I don't think I made a big oopsie. Okay. So now I'm calling that red done. That gave a lot of interesting depth to the base there. I'm pretty happy about that. This up a little bit. Like, that's cool. So I definitely need to darken this up, get the red meaty inner color on that. Obviously I need white teeth. I purposely bought titanium white, and I'm going to do it as white with a little yellow in it with no sparkles. Teeth shouldn't have the sparkles to them. That should be a skin-only texture, so I want to make sure that's sparkle-free. It's important. And then I think once I have all that said and done, I'll probably start screwing around with eyes. That might be next week. Because I want things dry so I can do like the really detail-y stuff. So let's do this weird red color, and then that's probably where I'm gonna pause it for today. So this is probably dryish. It's not bad. Let's see. Ooh, I might do sparkle in the eyes. I mean, that just seems appropriate. And actually, no matter what color I end up doing, I'll go back and put just a drop of clear nail polish on the eyes, so they have that wet, liquidy sparkle. So don't worry, the eyes are going to be special. I think I might have mentioned last stream, I actually considered taxidermy eyes, but those models are too small. It wouldn't have worked. Can I make the eyes follow people as they walk by? The answer, of course, is yes. It's a plastic model. I could drill those eyes out and get little, a little mechanism, but I have to say that wasn't the direction I was going, and if I really wanted cool eyes like that, I should have done it ahead of time. So perhaps on a future model, I'll go for the creep factor. This guy, though, will just have the dull look of a barbarian dinosaur lord on the wall, on Deadpool's wall. Barbarian dinosaur superhero lord. Mounted and hung on Deadpool's wall. Oh, yeah. But again, I think I would want to put all of those sorts of mechanisms in before I did all the delicate painting. So the question of could you do it? Oh yeah. You can get weird with the electronics. That's one of the benefits of working with plastic as opposed to like when I do taxidermy, because with taxidermy you can't have it be flexy at all, and you have to be careful about movement because pieces will fall off. But extruded plastic, have a day. Do the thing. I'm just taking a minute to get my brushes really, really clean. Two of three. Pretty darn clean. Obviously the other one's not a brush, the other one's my palette knife. And you know what, actually DL, Arduino? I'm not sure what that is. The pin sensors and the servos I got. But the first mechanism you mentioned, I am unfamiliar with. Okay. That's reasonably clean. Ah, okay, cool. That makes sense in that context, then. Okie dokie, humans. Let's see, what am I doing? If I want to do the reds... My green totally dry? It's mostly dry. Because I don't want the sparkle. I'm going to be mostly focusing on this part of my board. Let's see if I can wipe up any of this. Give myself a little space. Not as dry as I thought it was. Right. Yeah, that gives me a good spot. Even with this being kind of a huge blob. Okay. Got that. So I've got my... Let me move the camera back down. Man, I should screw with this. It was pretty good before. Anyway. There. Let's get some kind of meaty red. Is there any black still in here? Yeah, that's not totally dried. Okay, good, good. And I've got some green on here, but I'm gonna want blue. I'm trying to make a meat color because paint's weird. Let's add just a like little kiss of blue over here because I'm not gonna need a ton of that. No sparkle. I'm probably not going to want to lighten it anyway, so... But I do have white now, so I can. Okay. Oh, and burnt sienna, obviously. Yes, obviously. The things I say. There we go. Burnt sienna is just such a, classic... oh, I'm an artist, this is a pigment. Because, I mean, you take a substance called sienna and you burn it. And then you get burnt sienna. Like, okay. Sweet. Okay, so we're starting with burnt sienna because, except for that dry chunk of bleh. Get that guy out of there. I'm going to add in a bunch of this red. And then let's go right for some blue. Blue cools it off so nicely. Oh, actually, I do have black. Let's play with a little bit of black. So I want this deep. I want it to be evocative of a red color, but I want it to be meaty, shadowy, blacky. Alright, that's actually going pretty okay. So now it's mostly just like a richer brown. Might want to add some red back in. Yeah, wow, I mostly made a nice brown. Let me pump up the red a smidge more. I might actually want to throw some yellow in this. Let's see. No, actually, I think I want to draw it down. We're not going up, we're going down. A bit more black. Oh, that's like a ton. It's not quite that much. Black you add slow. I know I want more, but you just don't give in to the darkness. You gotta go slow. This is a cool color. More. What an interesting color. I think I even want it darker than this. I'm gonna add some blue back in. Because the blue makes it darker, but of course then adds another element. The black mostly just makes it darker. Both of which are good. Like, kind of both going in the direction I want. Where is the... Okay, I know exactly where the cat hair is coming from, obviously, but man. So, fun story, I have a Persian, his name is Rumi, and Rumi got groomed yesterday, and it's so funny, because his groomer, since the epidemic started, has been a mobile unit, so they roll up in a van, you walk out of your house, and you hand your cat to a nice person in a van, and... You know, they do all this stuff in the back of the van. And so when they open the back of the van when he's done and I come to pick him up, it's literally they slide open the door and this poof of hair comes out. Because a large part of what he gets is called a blowout, where they literally use a huge, like a reverse shop vac to blow the hair off of his body. And so he must have reduced in volume by at least 30%. I mean, he's like, just touching him feels differently. But that still loosens lots of hair, and so I keep finding floaty hair bits all over the place. It's just like my whole world right now. I need to just like do a giant like airlock venting of my living space. Sadly, I do not live in space, so I can't do that. Do here more red and more black. Ooh, man, this is such a rich color. Like, I don't know, this is another one. I don't know if this is exactly what I was going for, but I actually like it. I need yellow. Let's get out some yellow. Reverse Shop Back is a very good name for a Disturbed cover band. Well done. Could also be a Jonathan Colton cover band. Alright, a little yellow. It's a ton of yellow. Let's see how this goes. it just kind of mixes right in. Man, where else do I want to go with this? More red. Because I've more made like just a warm brown, which isn't the worst. Where do I want to go here? You know what? I'm going to add more red in. I think I want it dark, but I also want it noticeably red. You know. Yeah. I could be really edgy and just not really mix it well. Edgy. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop screwing with this and just put it on the dude and see what the dude then looks like. Okay, hopefully that stuff has dried to the point of being forgiving if I touch it. So it's way browner than I thought it was going to be. Oh, that's okay. Man, my phone has been going just like bonkers this whole time, and it turns out a lot of that is the fact that it's October 1st, so my insurance status has changed because I got laid off in September. So fun. I have lots of really dry emails to read. That's okay. Alright, so got my brown in there. I don't love it, I don't hate it. No. What I'm kind of digging is this line of bronze. I think I'm going to actually leave that. I might extend the brown up to touch the green, but having that lighter line all the way back is actually sort of working for me. So I might not mess with that. And if later I decide I don't like it, I probably would just edge that in black. Kind of go that route. Man. Yeah, no, I think a lot of emails. I feel like I ended up making a remarkably, like, rich, nutty brown here, which is not what I was going for, but it's kind of interesting. Ain't mad. The kind of cool thing about leaving that line there is that implies that when its mouth is closed, the T-Rex always looks like it's smiling. It'd have a white smile, which I sort of really like. So, might not screw with that. And this is one too where adding this base of brown and then I could go back over and do some sort of wash with a red might actually work out pretty well. So just roll with it. Wow, yeah, it definitely started to rain outside. When I ran out earlier to buy the black and white paint, it rained on me for like 15 seconds, I guess. And then was like, oh, sorry, sunny, and now it's raining again. Oh, you like that widget? Yeah, I've been playing with widgets on my About page, so there's a countdown until my next scheduled stream, but only if you're not on mobile, which I found really interesting. So if you look at my Twitch stream on a mobile device or like a tablet, it doesn't show that. It only shows it if you're at a desktop, which I'm not delighted by that. I might try to see if I can play with that a little bit more. I have various big plans for my About page. Now that I'm at affiliate level, it unlocked more stuff I can do. So I will be doing stuff once I decide on what I actually want to do. Decision paralysis. It's real. That's okay. Yeah, taxidermy on Saturday. I'm really planning on finishing up that little quail. I needed the break last week, and I'm glad I did it, but I really want to get that guy together. So I'll be playing with glass eyes and clay a bunch. That should be fun. Ooh, and the weekend of the 10th, it looks like I'll be able to go and help somebody skin a beaver. So that I won't be able to stream. We'll be outside. But I'm hoping to have at least Instagram pictures, if not like a recording I can post on YouTube. Or potentially on here. I can post pre-recorded stuff on Twitch. So okay. Well, got those brown inner areas. I'm not loving it, but I might leave it. Leave it for now, at least. It's almost too bright. Like, I still kind of think I'm gonna darken that up. Oh, where am I doing the beaver? I have a friend who lives out in the suburbs, so we'll be doing it in her yard. It's her beaver, and beavers are a two-person job, ideally. So I offered to help, because friends. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I can tell I'm slowing down. I think it's time to take a break, so I think I'm going to wrap up streaming for today. So if anybody is not currently following me, please do. I'm up to weird stuff. So the aforementioned taxidermy, I'll be doing taxidermy on Saturday. I am hoping to have this guy done next week. So actually, let me get my paints out of the way so he can have a little more front and center. Look at that gorgeous thing. So I'm thinking we should be able to get all the colors in next week. So we'll get white teeth, black highlights on some stuff, yellow eyes, all that goodness. So this guy will hopefully wrap up here on Thursday next week. Saturday I'm doing taxidermy. I haven't committed to doing a Sunday stream again. I was doing one for a while. I might go back to that. If I do, it's probably going to be taxidermy, because I want to go back to dealing with that sheep skull. So I don't want to not do the adorable quail, but I have a giant sheep skull that I want to keep pulling gross horror off of. Oh, and those little mouse skulls that I got soaking, which are really gross. I gotta change that water. I digress. So, anywho, people, I'm gonna wrap it up because I can tell I'm definitely getting fuzzy. So I will see you guys next Thursday for painting and chilling, or possibly Saturday if you want to see other weird stuff. So let me get my mouse back over here. Everybody take care, and see you guys around.